game, the nostalgia factor in the game. I myself felt, although I loved Twilight Princess, as much as we were delayed with the release of the game, I felt very hyped and definitely enjoyed the game. But we have to admit that the game was a little bit aimed at more the nostalgia feel for, say, the Ocarina of Time players, and maybe even back to more like me and Corey being the Link to the Past Zelda 3 players. You know, the fact that the first 3 dungeons take place with, like, the Zora and the Gorons, just like Ocarina of Time. So you have the first 3 dungeons to get a basic item, and then they advance into, you know, a broader world where you have about, you know, 7 dungeons. Definitely a throwback game, and the inclusion of Ganon might kind of harker back to that. That might be seen as a criticism we could legitimately make. Maybe it's harping, you know, too much to, you know, as a throwback to Ocarina of Time. Mm-hmm. It felt a little bit too much like that, if I could make that criticism of the story.
Now, David, I want to go back on something real fast. Out of the 3 of us, you were the only one to actually get the Wii Zapper and Link's crossbow training with it.
Oh,
describe some of it for us.
Yeah, go ahead and describe it.
Yeah, I have to say, that was awesome. I mean, I was like, okay, well, great. I have to hook my Wii controller into this. It was literally like a stock. It's like I bought a gun and this is the stock. But no, seriously, I literally felt like I was holding the crossbow and I was sitting here shooting like a machine gun. Like, it was, I really thought I wasn't playing the Wii. I thought like at a carnival and I picked up the BB gun and I was shooting the tin cans. I mean, it was awesome. My only regret with that is I kind of think that they should have made it another controller, because it would have been interesting to actually lay your controller down and pick up the Wiimote, the zapper, if they made use of them somehow. So you're kind of like actually feeling like you're in the game. Like, okay, well, let's put down the sword and shield and let's pick up the gun. I mean, the crossbow. Right. And it would have been kind of like breaking the fourth wall. But I mean, I absolutely love the thing. And in fact, I really hope that in the next Zelda that they somehow incorporate, because that thing, I mean, it looks very, you know, simple, but it changed my view on it. I thought it was awesome.
Okay, we're getting close on time here, so let's take out some closing arguments. Mike, we'll start with you. Rate the game, say, on a scale of 10, and give your personal thoughts about it. What does the game mean to you?
On a scale of 10, I'm just going to give it an 8.5. That's probably not as generous of a score rating for other people who would probably give it a 9.5 or even a flat-out 10. I refuse to give it a flat-out 10 because this is just a graphical enhancement of Ocarina of Time. Pretty much the same game, same formula, same characters, a little bit different, a lot more improved, but it's not that much different. I expect a little more innovation in a Zelda game besides some thrown-in motion controls, even though it's like a Wii port of a GameCube game. So I refuse to give it that perfect of control, but a review. But in the end, as far as it took for this game to come out, because we were all frustrated with the delays, it was worth it. And I cannot wait for the next Zelda game to see what they can do now that they are making a Zelda game specifically for the Wii with the Wii Motion Plus controls, which will perhaps fix some of the issues that you and David, Corey, you and David have complained about. I cannot wait for it, and I'm looking forward to the next Zelda game.
All right, David, your closing thoughts.
Well, if I had to put a value on it, I mean, compared to the classics, I'm going to have to give it a 9. You know, I flowing back to the graphics, I mean, the graphics were awesome, but also I kind of got the feeling, just because it was a lot nicer in the graphics, there was less, I felt like I was more alone, especially like when you're actually in the castle. Like, I honestly felt like there was like 3 people, and the thing takes up like 3 or 4 football fields. I kind of felt like the feeling like, okay, well, tune the graphics up, but kind of take away dialogue and actually, you know, interactive NPCs and whatnot. I kind of felt that, and that's kind of why I wouldn't say it would be any higher than a 9. Just because that story was awesome. There were a couple scenes that I got teary-eyed. And just because of the whole motion control, I actually sometimes felt like I was actually inside the game. I kind of lost perspective into that. I mean, I'm moving a character and by swiping and actually hitting an object. I mean, that's cool. I mean, actually training with the fallen hero, that was awesome, I thought. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say a 9 out of 10.
All right, guys. Well, this concludes the first podcast for Tulsa County Lanning. This is Corey, Mike, and David. See you next.
Guys.
Later.